Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. We are real close to my changing my username to finally senior citizen. Oh boy, I'm thrilled about that. Yay! Still, hope you are doing well. I have had 8 days so far. It's a bit later. It's almost 3:30. So hokey smokes. I have not been sleeping well still. So while I did sleep, I didn't sleep for a great amount of time, so I've been really tired and just dragging this morning. But I went out for a long walkies. Just went big, like at least 4 miles, so that's good. And as always, it's start here, make a big long round trip, and then here's where I want to go, so I make sure it's a good 4-mile trip before I get there. Now, when I say where I want to go, I bought some food for today and tomorrow at Walmart. I make sure on a 4-mile walk that hitting Walmart is at the 3.75 mile range. So I make sure to get lots of exercise in, so definitely a good thing. But past that, I came back, ate some food, been watching some videos, played... What the heck did I play? I played something for a while. This is just disturbing to my brain. I cannot remember at all what it was, but I played it for a while. Thumbs up. I was digging through on the physical side. That's way over there, and I'm over here in the middle of the room now. I've been digging through, all of my physical stuff. I mean, the Mike Lambo books. I want to play number one, I want to play these books just because I want to play them. Number two, I want to play them for the channel. And part of that is a little bit tougher because you can buy these as PDFs off Wargaming, like a Wargaming Vault, something like that. But I've bought all of mine through Amazon. It's a better deal for the author. They get more money for it that way, I've been told. So I buy them this way. Problem is, if you want to play it for anybody but yourself, the maps are big and they take up a full page. So I'd have to press the page, or there are people that make copies of the pages so you can put them up. The other part, this is the section that I want to be careful about. I mean, Mike Lambo shows this stuff. People do leaf-throughs of this. When I asked him if it's okay to play just the thing for the channel, he said try not to show too much of the AI, because the AI is what makes the whole thing run. I mean, here's the artificial intelligence for the enemy to play on this map. Now, the rules for how the AI works is all up at the beginning. But I want to do that for the channel. Gosh, no good places to put anything. So there's that, and I got that 4 Against Darkness thing that I need to finish the matrices for the various levels of what there are, so that it's got a nice bit of randomization. So even though I know what the map looks like, I've still got complete randomization of monsters, traps, and treasures. Now, one of the other things, yesterday I talked about how I have choice paralysis because I've just been picking up like a black hole, sucking up everything that's either no cost, and there are a lot of people that make this stuff free, or very low cost. There's a couple. There's one, Harper's Quest and Harper's Quest 2. Harper's Quest, the first one, is make it fit on one-page RPG rules, and it's way too abstract for me to be able to figure out. But in a way, I do like what they do with the dungeon crawling thing, because you have the ultra crunchy things for, like, not even 4 Against Darkness, that's not crunchy at all, like D100 Dungeon, which gets really granular, and into it, things like Harper's Quest 2 are exceptionally abstract. You don't travel from room to room so much. The dungeon is X number of rooms, which is effectively X number of encounters. And then when you're done with the last encounter, you've gone through the dungeon. And that's what it is. I mean, it tells you what things look like. You grab treasures, you fight monsters, but the room itself and the travel and all that is just abstracted down. Which is fine. I mean, I like things like not Four Against Darkness, Note Quest, the Note Quest Expanded World, which is I'll get to the Expanded World part again, because the Note Quest one, it gives you a nice, good dungeon to go through. But it's not, it's right in the middle. It's semi-granular, semi-crunchy, but even the dungeons are abstracted in that you draw them, but you can put them anywhere you like, and the map and the rooms don't really affect anything. They could be abstracted down. Now, for overland travel, there have been a lot of things that I've been picking up because I want to do overland travel and overland adventure things. It can be hard with some systems that are not made for that. And Note Quest Expanded World, while it does above ground and hex crawling, it is again very abstracted. There are some almost one-pagers, but they'll put them in like less than 10 or so, that give you point of interest overland adventures that are all randomized. This is all solo stuff. And that's really awesome. And even the things I have that aren't randomized, aren't solo. Unfortunately, I don't have the book here. I was going to open it up. I have the rules for the Heroes of Kalinor game that I've talked about. That is something I want to play for myself on the channel. Inside of it, I also have the rule set, because I don't have enough notebooks, for the game Cairn. Cairn is a tabletop role-playing game which you have a game master and a bunch of players. But again, there being such a big solo market, there are all sorts of, you can pick up something that someone made for the game. So a third party makes a how-to solo playing Cairn supplement and they sell it. But really, all you need is a six-sided die to use as an oracle, and you can go from there as solo. Because the oracle runs as the game master, and at its easiest, you just take that six-sided die whenever you have a question, and it's just yes and, yes, yes, but, no, no, and, as the answers. So again, as an example, you know, it's like you go, gosh, you know, I'm going to go out and look for treasures or find excitement. Is there any adventure that someone wants someone to go on? And you roll it and it comes up with no, but. So that could be, no, there's no legitimate adventurers needed at the moment. But there is somebody who would like to find someone to do a job for them that's not quite above board. And that can lead into an adventure. So you're game mastering right there, all on your own, just with a six-sided die as the game master. There are books that have pages. There's books that are just books that you run. There's like Mythic, Game Master Emulator. And somebody, I can't remember his name, it's like the guy that does Willona's Cave YouTube channel. He's got a Game Master emulator for science fiction and fantasy, and probably more to come. So you can use an entire book, or just use a six-sided die, or any combination in between. Because some of them, like the Mythic Game Emulator, they have extra systems on top of whatever system you're using. It has, I can't remember exactly what it is, but I'm going to give a name to it and just call it threat. As you do things, that threat level will go up, and if it goes up far enough, it triggers things, and you have other things happen because of that. So your game master is doing stuff even though it's just a book. So yay, thumbs up for that. But still, that's some of the stuff that I want to do. And there's like Light in the Darkness. That's a solo board game that I've had for a time. Comes just in a box, but it's a side game for another board game which I guess is cooperative, a bunch of people, but it takes place, plague doctors in an alternate world. And that's what this one here is, like a light in the dark, I think that's what it's called. You're just a little plague doctor traveling around trying to deal with the plague and unplague villages and get rid of monsters. And you travel through. You got X number of turns to do it, and you gotta go and move. And that's a cool one. I want to show that for the channel. So there's all sorts of things that, oh boy, leading into for that. I can't record much of anything to play unless, with that. This is awkward. I just all of a sudden thought of it, why don't I try it this way? And I really do not have a good segue because I hadn't planned on doing this. But I do have a GoFundMe, if you could check that out. I'm trying to get a computer. I'm not trying to get a god computer. I'm not trying to grift for a living. I have a hard limit of $1,500, and if I can find something way cheaper than that, then awesome. And I'm not married to an all-in-one. I'm looking at those. I'm not married to building my own, but I'm looking at all that stuff. So I'm just trying to get a computer that'll play stuff moderately well, record and edit video, as well as record the game stuff. And that would be awesome, because right now I can't edit video on my computer over here, my laptop. It just crashes out if it's even halfway complex. So thumbs up on that. So if you could check that out, that would be very awesome. I got like $500 in donations. Thank you so very much, each and every person that has helped me out. You don't have to, but you did. And this old heart of mine appreciates that so very, very much. Now, of course, I like to say, if you're going to donate, I want it to be only after you have taken care of your own needs, after you can take care of your own wants, after you've purchased everything you would like to purchase for your month, or however long it is before you get your next bout of money. Only if you have done that and you have some money left over that you feel comfortable giving me a portion of, only then will I ask for a donation. If the chain breaks at any point, don't. I'm not grifting. I don't want anyone to hurt themselves financially. If you do have any money that you can hand over, boy, that sounds great, doesn't it? If you could donate, there we go. It would be awesome. So if you could check out the thing down there, that'd be cool. While we're at it here, hey, if you could like, comment, subscribe, maybe share the video with people you know that would like to watch an old man prattle on incoherently and inanely. Thumbs up for that. And you can see my lights here. I like to turn these on, but apparently I do it so infrequently that when I come over to this, even though I turn them off, the batteries are always dead. There must be some draw, even when I'm not using them, because I don't let them sit that long. But and there's my recharger in the wall, if you can see it over here. I'm recharging all my batteries at the moment. Yes, rechargeable batteries are expensive. Yes, our charger for rechargeable batteries is expensive. But once you've charged 4 rechargeable batteries like 3 or 4 times, it has paid for itself. So I have some AAAs and AA's, and every time I recharge them, I just saved $8. So thumbs up for that. Yeah, batteries are expensive. Anyway, though, I have continued thinking about things on the creative front, on the solo RPG type thing, where I have mentioned before that Carthcog is at least the landmass of Africa, stretched out like the Americas from the northern pole almost down to the southern pole on this hemisphere of the world, where the Hulat are coming down from, the Apani, the Orkani, and the Habani. I said them in the wrong order, so I got confused. All these people started off on a different portion of the continent that was separated by impassable water in a channel. since the raising of the land of the channel and the draining of the water outward, they have been, over the last 1,200 years, they have abandoned their old home and are moving downward into the, well, inhabitable part of the continent of Carthage. Now, 1,200 years later, where they came from, it is buried in ice, in glaciers. So it was leave or die, and it's a good thing that the channel cleared so they could, because they traveled via boats to get over the channel to someplace they could live. And it wasn't just a wild abandonment. There was, because of the impending ice, some of the Orkani, tribes of the Orkani, had taken to living within cave systems, and like some, they devolved as a species. Intelligence not needed as an intelligence thing, as a survival device. And they descended. They are Kavek, effectively cave trolls, except not evil. They have the mental capacity of children, but they are very canny and cunning. They're not animals. They're not truly sentient and sapient. But the Orkani and the others saved them and brought them too across, and any others that were intelligent enough to be able to come across. The area that they came across and downward into the larger continent of Carthage was an area about as long as the contiguous border between the United States and Canada. And the distance that they have traveled down over the past 1,200 years is about the distance of Washington and Oregon, stretched out across that. They haven't come down and just invaded and moved further, because in expanding like an invasive species is not treating the land well. And if you mistreat the land, eventually the land is going to take care of the problem. And there are Koth, which are degenerating lines of Apani. There are Ogal, who are degenerating lines of Habani. There are Tsandaksha, who are degenerating lines of the Tsandako, also known as the Elvandri over in Lanloa with the Dwaylen. So they know to be careful, very, very careful. And so only in the past 1,200 years have they expanded, it moved downward that far. Carthage is largely made up of 3 other continents that got smashed together during all the tectonic activity from the massive war that destroyed the other intelligent species that used to live on the planet, until they took care of themselves 5 million years ago. Their war set across so much tectonic and seismic and volcanic activity, they changed the face of the planet massively. They had machines set in there to keep planets, rock and water and air together in case of natural disaster, because they had like close to 200 billion people on the face of the planet, and they had lived in peace and harmony in a near utopia for almost 100 million years, until they took care of themselves. But they had machines in place so that if there were tectonic plates that were scraping and moving, it just used, it's inertial damping, so that things moved just slower, so that they didn't build up and then have 10,000 years worth of movement in 25 seconds. And these machines tore themselves apart, holding the planet together. But Carthage is made up of those 3 continents. Stendhal and Lanloa used to be one continent and were torn in pieces along the tectonic line, which separated the Dwaylen from the Goya. But on Carthage, the lower lobe, the Dwaylen-like Australopithecine type creatures from that long ago, they suffered badly became mostly subterranean, and their intelligence level, if you want to put it in terms like this, where they were like coming up on mid-teen, driven back down through survival till about 7 years of age, and they're coming back upward, and they've built themselves back up to effectively maturatively about 19 years old. So they suffered, and they're nowhere near the level of anybody else, but that's the bottom third of Karstkog. The middle of it, that continental lobe had a really bad time, and nothing over 40 kilograms, just under 100 pounds of weight, survived that. It's no megafauna. So things are starting to build up, but there's nothing really big that lives there even now. And then the top third one that they're moving downward into, that one had also had a problem with the destruction of the Australopithecines, but at the same time, there was a bunch of rodent-like creatures that were on the cusp, that were evolving upward at the same time as the Australopithecine type creatures that the Dwalin were before they evolved into what they are now. These rodent-like creatures have evolved to the point that they are bipedal, sentient and sapient, but their own creatures. Now, the Hulat have not come across them yet, but they will. So thumbs up on that. And at 21 minutes in, hey, if you are a Patreon patron, thumbs up and thank you. Without your help, I would be badly hurting. I got the Patreon paycheck, and let me tell you, it really helps. Oh my gosh. So thank you so very, very much. It is appreciated to no end. When you look in the mirror, you are looking at someone who is beautiful and awesome, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. If you have left me a comment, thumbs up and thank you. It is appreciated. I read every comment that YouTube shows me, and I try to answer as many as I can, which is not as many as I would like because of my nerve compression. And of course, if you have watched this far, if you could type the words "pepper crushed" into the comments, that would be very cool. Blatant engagement farming on my part, but that lets the YouTube algorithm know, and me know, that people actually sometimes watch this far. One or two of y'all do it. Thank you so very much. It is appreciated. So I am going to edit, render, upload, take care of myself for the rest of the day. I am so tired, and while I haven't fallen asleep, when I am exhausted, I have a motivation problem, which is why it's almost 3:30 now instead of noon or earlier. Oh, I was debating not getting anything done at all, but habit and routine is important, and you don't want to make the habit and routine not being habit and routine. I have enough disruptions in my end of life, part of life, that I'm trying to get used to. I don't need any more. After all, back in the 1980s, depression among the elderly was at epidemic proportions. In the past 40 years, trust me when I say, attitudes toward mental health, helping people, and helping people not succumb and vanish and all this under mental health issues, is maybe 1/10 of what it was back in the 1980s. I imagine depression is a whole lot worse now. I can see it in a lot of the people that I live with around here, in their own little homes when they come out. End of life sucks, and when you have nothing to hook onto, like especially in American capitalist society, you need, if work is your foundation, and when you stop working, what do you have left? A lot of men die very early because they lose a sense of purpose. So life is fun. And when you enter the end of life, because after all, again, there is a beginning, a middle, and an end to life. 0 to 25, 26 to 50, 51 till there's no more. Each stage, beginning, middle, and an end. Am I coming up on 62? I'm coming up real close on that end stage of the end stage, where things don't get better. But that's depressing, and I have all sorts of things that I'm looking forward to, and I'm not ready to go because I got Squishmallows to buy. Thumbs up for that. Hopefully you can get done the things that you would like to get done. That would be cool. If you can't, please do not beat yourself up. It doesn't help. That's pointless. You're engaging in habit, but not all habit is good. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that is indeed a very good thing. Definitely. No real words of wisdom. It's, I am not wise. I'm just old. And remember, good judgment is learned from experience, and experience is gained from bad judgment. Sometimes TV shows are very, very correct. And although I'm paraphrasing, when Jake the dog told Finn in Adventure Time to get really good at something, you first have to suck at it. And it's true. So you take care. Talk to you later.